Hello, my name is John Torrens, and I am here to talk to you about a course that I'm going to be pulling together for you on negotiations and deal making as part of the procurement program through the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. So I'm really excited to give you a quick rundown on what we're going to be talking about. But first, why don't we talk a little bit about why it's important? So, as founders and CEOs, you negotiate on an ongoing basis. Everything you do is basically a negotiation. You're negotiating with vendors, especially maybe if you need to extend terms or something, or even just to get new things that you need for your business. You're negotiating with customers, employees, shareholders, partners. If you're like me, you're probably negotiating with your kids a lot, spouses. So almost everything you're engaged in is a negotiation. And the ability to negotiate well and understand best practices is really critical to your success as a founder, CEO, and entrepreneur. So, in our short course, the things we'll cover will help you get set up for success in negotiating. So, even if you're a pretty experienced negotiator, you've done a lot of deals before, I think there's a lot you can learn. I've taught this course at the graduate and undergraduate level now for, I think, 6 years, and I still learn a lot teaching it, even though I've done it most of my adult life. So, the things you'll learn, for example, what's the difference between a distributive versus an integrative negotiation? They're different and you approach them in a different way. What is BATNA and why is it important to you and how do you improve it? It basically means best alternative to a negotiated agreement. But we're going to dig into that and talk to you about what it is, how to constantly improve it, what it means, why you need it, how to learn about the other side's BATNA. Another fun acronym is ZOPA. It stands for Zone of Possible Agreement. How do you identify it? How do you hone in on it? How do you make sure you're kind of getting into the sweet spot that works for you? Then we're going to talk about strategies for setting your reservation price, strategies for finding mutual value creation. Most of the successful deal makers I know go into it not with a winner take all mentality, but with the mentality of creating value for both sides. Then we're going to talk about methods to prepare you for a negotiation. There's a pretty standard process that we can go through just to get you mentally prepared as well as organizationally prepared. And then we're going to go over some evidence-based practices to help you succeed in any negotiation. So, for example, you may have heard that whoever speaks first in a negotiation loses. And that's a common myth. And those are one of the things we're going to try to get to the bottom of. But real quickly, that's garbage. There's no evidence to support that. As a matter of fact, the research data proves conclusively that by speaking first and anchoring, you're more likely to get the deal that you want. So we'll go over things like that on the importance of anchors, how to set an anchor, when you do it, why you do it, how you respond to completely inappropriate or wild, crazy anchors by the other side, and so on. So those are some of the things we're going to learn. A little bit more about me as your instructor, so you know that you're going to be in good hands for the course. I'm an experienced founder, CEO, entrepreneur. I've been in business for myself since 1994. The faculty position I have at Syracuse University's Whitman School of Management is the only real job I've ever had. Otherwise, I've been self-employed and created jobs for others. My company right now does about 10 million in revenue, so it's not the biggest company, but it's not that small either. We've got about 200 employees, and it's in healthcare and education. So we have an outpatient clinic in Rochester and in Syracuse. We do a home health program, Rochester and Syracuse, and then we run integrated preschools also in Rochester and Syracuse. So we employ therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, psychologists, social workers, things like that. So I understand what it's like to build and scale a company. I know what it's like to have to engage in negotiations on a regular basis. And I'm really excited to teach this course for you. I've led 12 mergers and acquisitions. So throughout my professional career, I have grown organically, but I've also grown through acquisition. I've sold my company twice, bought it back, rolled up other companies. So I'm pretty experienced in terms of negotiations when it comes to M&A. I'm also a 4-time Inc. 5000 honoree, which is, just Inc. magazine recognizes the fastest growing companies in the US. And I'm also really happy to say I was an inaugural Q's 50 honoree. Q's 50 honors the fastest growing SU alumni owned and operated companies. So you'll be in good hands. I know the subject matter, I've lived it, and I'm super excited to have you in the class. All right.